It don't matter if it's NASCAR, I don't burn on blocks in my backyard. We just living in the best lane. And we're flying higher than an airplane. As long as there's nothing to burn, heads to turn, to trust, to drink all the money we earn, then we'll be living in the best lane. It don't matter if it's NASCAR, I don't burn on blocks in my backyard. Oh, we're just living in the best lane. And we're flying higher than an airplane. Well, if you ain't first or last, so don't look back. If you're looking for me, I'm in the checkered flag. Just living in the best lane. Living in the best lane. Oh, I'll be living in the best lane. I'm living in the best lane.
I'm Brian Priest, and you're watching Under the Lights Racing.
I'm really excited that we've announced the 4 NASCAR National Series in our 4-hour game. For the first time ever, we're going to feature the ARCA Menards Racing Series and entry point for the career mode. Featuring all 4 series allow us to give the player a complete experience that somebody might make to become a champion.
So why having ARCA trucks, Xfinity and Cup is so important, especially from a design perspective, is we finally get to do what is a realistic career mode that somebody would actually follow in real life. Think about the drivers who started in ARCA, cut their teeth in ARCA, went then to trucks, got noticed, got to Xfinity, and finally made their mark in Cup.
So yeah, Todd and I spent a lot of time just talking about the feeling of what it would be like if you were a young kid and you're starting your grandpa's shop, and his shop was this like dirty old gas station, and he just kind of said, hey, you can use my shop, there's the tools, have at it. And then through that, you started to realize that you actually had some talent. And you worked your way up, and you went from the shop to there was a pole barn or a metal building that's also on the property, and that's where you run your truck team. And then you start to get more sponsors, and you start to have more success. So then you move up to the Xfinity series, and then at that point you can build your own shop, and you get more success there, and it just keeps steamrolling. And then all of a sudden you get to the point where you're in the Cup Series, and that's where we built the Taj Mahal of race shops.
In the career mode, you'll be tasked with making decisions on how to spend your time. And it's not all about just what you do on the racetrack. You're going to have to do things to build your reputation. And that might be charitable work or a movie opportunity. There's going to be things that your sponsors ask you to do. And you'll have to balance between building your reputation and your brand and being successful on the racetrack.
Having access to Dale Jr. has been amazing. We've never had the ability to work with a driver at this level before, and not just somebody who just comes in and plays the game and says, that's good. He's actually actively involved in helping design the game.
Designing out the career mode was a Herculean effort because you want to make sure that you have all the right details in there about what makes a NASCAR career really authentic, but at the same time, you don't want to make everybody have to go through all the minutia of managing a race team and the finances and the employees. So really, it's a nice balance, and I think we've pulled this off really well in NASCAR 25, where if you want to just concentrate as being a driver, you can do that while mildly being involved in some of the decision making. But if you want to go in there and manage every last little detail, you're going to be able to do that as well.
I feel like it gives them more of a perspective of how it actually works, right? Coming up through the ranks, deciding how to upgrade your vehicle, right? Those are decisions that you've got to make in real life. Do you want to buy a new set of shocks? I only have this allocated amount of money, right? Do I buy a new set of shocks? Do I, rebuild my engine? Do I buy a new set of tires? And those are the decisions that, like I said, I've had to make in my career, and to be able to correlate, that story and create, sort of your own blueprint in your career, I think is a neat aspect of the game.
One of the cool things about finishing a race in this game is going to be how your performance has resonated within the social media world. So it's not just going to be drivers who might be commenting on how you performed during the race on social media, but some of the most popular NASCAR social media influencers will be chiming in as well. Part of this game being all about the driver's perspective is the interaction that drivers have between themselves and their crew chief and their spotter. So that's something that we're really focusing on while you're in the car, while you're driving, while you're in the menus, making it feel less like a UI screen and more like an interaction between you and them.
So we've really put together the most amazing team that I can think of to build a NASCAR game. We've got decades of experience across many of us, across every platform imaginable. We've got laser scanned assets. We've got amazing driving physics. We've got literally a company that has been built on the foundation of being authentic and true to the sport. And you add all those things together, and it's really this recipe to make the best NASCAR experience possible.
For more information about the game, visit NASCAR25.com, where you can sign up for email updates and view more content, and be sure to follow us on social media at NASCAR25Game.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight over the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave?
What is up under the lights racing? It is your man on the mic tonight, UTR Storm, alongside the legend himself, LRS, up in the booth with me as always, here on a welcoming Thursday night. Sorry that I could not be with y'all last week. Took some time off for myself as needed. So I'm so glad to be back in the booth tonight with y'all at a wonderful racetrack, none other than the Michigan International Speedway. And like I said, I got Luke up here in the booth with me tonight. Luke, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good, Alex. Very excited to get this show on the road here at Michigan. High draft. It's going to be a lot of fun. Two times wear. Probably not too much of strategy going to happen here tonight. Not much fuel saving because of that high draft. And I think we're going to be in for a show.
Yeah, man, I'm actually super excited. After watching the truck race, kind of back on a few clips that I saw, the Cup race last night was intense as always. I mean, it's been an awesome week here at Michigan. It always usually is, honestly. We always have great racing when it comes to Michigan, clean and exciting races, and a lot of exciting passes. Uh, I know you're kind of the one when it comes to working together, working as teams and stuff like that. Talk to us about how the passing opportunities come into play here, because they're different and unique than any other track. There's a lot of different opportunities to take.
Yeah, for sure. I would almost say there's about 5 lanes on this track that you could actually run and make work. If you include the apron, obviously you got to have a little talent to be able to run the apron because there is that little kick out where it could spin you out. But if you're going to work with somebody or if you're going to just push whoever you can, you got to be right on them in the corner. You can't plow into them, obviously, because that'll move them up. They got to be able to hold the car in front of you. But with the high draft, you can really run any line. It's all about the run out of the corner and the entry into turn three, in my opinion, is where the race is going to be won or lost because. You just got to carry the momentum. You can push on the top side. I personally think on the straightaways, you want to be on the top up against the wall with a line behind you. In the corners, you want to be about 1 or 2 lanes up on the apron because you know how that apron is, Alex.
Yeah, it's pretty deadly. I've been there in a good situation where in practice session, I think a couple years back, I was on the outside lane, the entire inside line stacked up, and I took off and won that practice session. And then in the race, I've been in there when I'm on the apron, and like you said, the car kicks out due to the physics on this game, and we end up spinning around, and you can collect the entire field because usually you're going to be followed in pursuit of the rest of the field.
Oh yeah, I 100% agree with you. If you lose any type of momentum here, you're kind of just in the water with the piranhas. You'll get put in the middle, you'll get put on the outside, they'll put you all the way on the bottom, and you got to deal with it. If you make a mistake, you got to be mature enough to hold your car in line and just wait for everybody to get by you and regroup and go again. It happened many times to me last night. It happened in the truck series. We saw your own driver, Alex J, up at the front of the field. He was racing really well, made a mistake, fell all the way back, worked his way back up, fell back again. It's just like a conveyor belt.
It is, and that's what is so unique about Michigan. 2 miles to get around this track, and it's nothing but a conveyor belt. Back and forth, relay race all the way around this track. Um, and I think we've always seen in this league the most passes, the most different leaders when it comes to this track. Uh, and we have a couple of, speaking of leaders, we also have a couple of possible new leaders coming out of tonight. Luke, you're talking about some history stats in this league. You want to run us through it?
Yeah, there's 3 drivers tonight that could make history in the UTLR Xfinity Series. One of them being Nick, obviously SP Nick Jensen. If he wins tonight, he will tie the record all time for wins at 7. It would be a 4-way tie, which is really really cool. It shows you the parity in the Xfinity Series at only 7 wins too. And then also if Zach Clater does the same thing, um, he would tie the record. But if INF Jack Farnhart, if he were to win tonight, he would stand at the top all by himself with 8. He would be the all-time wins leader in the UTLR Xfinity Series.
Wow. Xfinity has come a long ways, and to see Jack come from nothing and come into a great racer who we know has been one, but to finally make his way into a prestige column is quite incredible. And obviously, we all know that, or if you have followed the league long enough, you know that most of those wins have come from road course racing, where he shines the brightest. But nonetheless, doesn't take away from the fact of him being one of the best in the Xfinity series. And Luke, I want to try something tonight because it's new to me. It's not new to you because you did it on Tuesday.
I know what you're gonna say. I know yep.
You did it on Tuesday. I want to give it a try. I will probably fail hard at some point and get mocked on it, but I want to try to use actual drivers' names.
It's fun. It was challenging at first, but it's fun. When it kind of makes you feel connected to them.
It does. I mean, we've always grown as a league. We've always felt intertwined with the drivers and felt more at home with the drivers. And we're hoping that maybe that might be a new way into the new iRacing game that y'all just saw the dev diary about with the career mode. Nothing about online multiplayer yet or league racing stuff, but we're hoping for the best in the months to come. But we could be looking at stuff that iRacing does. iRacing doesn't do gamer tags. They do actual names. There is no gamer tag anymore when it comes to iRacing. So I think they'll probably still do it because it's not like the actual iRacing itself. But, I would not be surprised if they don't do it. So let's give it a try tonight. Let's make it a challenge more for myself than you because you already have the expertise from Tuesday night.
Yeah, I only messed up once. I called Clater by his full government name and accidentally called him Zachary Clater. So, yeah.
Nice. So, talking about points now. Looking after Canadian Tire last. Of course, I don't want to focus on mainly the driver points because we're getting close to playoffs, and everybody wants to know what playoffs look like. Well, playoffs right now would go to Brendan Edgington. He is in the 90 car. He is up front. If the playoffs were to end right now, he would be the current leader. This is not including the regular season points, so keep that in mind. But he does have 2022 points, being the leader. Sam Schaefer in the 15 car is locked in as well with 2012, and Nick Jensen in the 7 is also tied with him with 2012, and then Evan Helton in the number 9 car also locked in with 2008. Those are the 4 drivers locked in. Luke, you want to go down through the rest?
Yeah, before we go down through the rest, I want to mention Evan Helton not racing tonight, so that could be a big factor in his eligibility. We're going to have to pay attention to that. But Garage God Michael Shackelford, he's in 5th with 2003. He's won 3 stages. Mason LaForge, he's in 6th in the number 0, won a stage, has 1 point, 2001. Jacob Willingham, knockdown, P7, flat at 2000. R. Denny, last driver above the cut line, he has flat 2000. Stephen Wade Davis, Load broke, 9th, flat 2000. Jason Beeson, Ham Wallet, whatever you want to call him. Wormy, he is in 10th with 2000. Ryan Waltman, I think that's Athletic Yeti. He is in 11th with 2000. And Jaden Dubois Fournier, or Yeti, he is in 12th with 2004. So I think that's a little mistake.
Yeah, I think that actually was a mistake. Yeah, probably. Now, I will say, I like how you said there's like 3 names for Jason Beeson because he just recently changed his gamer tag again to, I think, Shank 9 Sharks, something like that. Back 9 Shanks. Don't know the reason for it, don't know the understanding of it, but that guy's been through the most gamer tags, I think, in this league since he started. It was UTR Wormy, then it was just Wormy, and then it was Ham Wallet, and now we're off to this back 9 Shanks or whatever.
And remember, he also had a name back before when his fire alarm used to go off all the time. I forgot what it was.
Oh God, yes, I remember. I don't remember what it was, but I remember that. So that man's been through a lot. That's gonna be one name. Here's one name though that I'm gonna struggle with is Jaden Dubois. I think I'm just going.
I called him JDF when I was doing the trucks.
You know what? I think I might just do that because he's already cursed me with me pronouncing his name correctly. So without him giving me too much hell, I'm going to probably just be JDF, the new SVG. No, kidding. Not there yet. Could be in the future. But yeah. I like that. JDF. Okay, cool. Rookie of the year, obviously, right now is looking pretty stout right now. Obviously, Evan Helton not racing tonight, so it's going to be a bigger gap setting in place with Brendan Edgington, the points leader for Rookie of the Year, with 191 points for RCR. Looking very strong. He has been a very solid contender all season long. Always up front. He had a win taken away at the start of the season, and now he's back in play and ready to go and looking really strong here towards the later half of the regular season.
Oh yeah, and I do want to mention too, Alex, for that RCR team, they went under an ownership change a couple of weeks ago, and they have a different motto. I talked to their new chairman. They have two of them. They're kind of separate. I was talking to Ian. I was talking to Knockdown, and they said that they're changing the way they race now. They felt like they were being held back by the previous administration, and now they said they're gonna go all out, give it all they have instead of just waiting and then going at the end.
Hey, I like the new strategy. I like to see new things shape up, and there's been a lot of changes within that team's organization, and drivers leaving, and then new things came about, and they said, you know what, I like where I'm at. Let me give it a second chance. Let's see what this new RCR is about. And so far, it's shown. It definitely has is solid opportunities. Um, I'm interested to see what RCR does over the next several months as they prepare for the playoffs in all three series. Uh, Going through the lineup because I know we're probably getting ready to go green here shortly. But going through the lineup here, let me pull it up because I've got the new feature now. I can actually pull the race lineup. There we go. Race
Not a
lineup.
single DNQ.
Yeah, I'm actually very impressed by this group of guys. Starting on the pole, I'll go through the first 10. Luke, you can do the second 10. On the pole
Of course.
is Michael Shackelford for the Trackhouse Racing organization in the 10 car on pole tonight, and he swept all three poles this week. So congrats to Michael Shackelford on the pole sweep here at Michigan. Zach Clare to his outside 39 car for RS Racing. Starting third is the Jack Farnhart Machine number 6 car. Starting in fourth is Ryan Waltman in the 51. Starting fifth is the number 18 of DeMonte Hamilton. Starting in the sixth position in the number 7 is Nick Jensen. Starting seventh in the number 0 is Mason LaForge. In the eighth position, it is the 15 car of Sam Schaefer. And in ninth is Dylan Blevins in the number 1. And in 10th is the number 5 of Stephen Davis II.
Yeah, and then for the back half of the grid, the last 10 drivers lining up in 11th, current points leader Brandon Edgington in the number 90, JDF, Alex's driver in the 11, lining up 12th, and 13th, Jacob Willingham in the number 36 for RCR, 14th, Richard Denny from Mike Harmon's team in the number 47. The other Mike Harmon drivers line up right behind him in 15th and 16th, respectfully. That's Alan Drake and Jason Beeson in the 74 and 44. Keegan Huey in 17th and the number 93 for RS Racing. Clater calls him his protege. 18th, Ian McClintock making his first Xfinity start in a long time in the number 92. Toby Welsh, 19th. He actually set a lap tonight. Hopefully he can get some laps in. I know he's been having some lag issues in the number 08. And John Dean hit the wall on his qualifying lap. P20 at the back of the grid for the Spire Motorsports number 68.
Yeah, John Dean's gonna be one to watch because we know he's fast. He's always been fast, no matter where he goes. He just has mistakes left and right, and just to see him hit the wall does not hinder him at all. He's gonna be probably inside the top 5 before the end of stage 1, if not halfway into stage number 1. You're talking about Toby Welsh there. Yeah, we'll see if he races tonight. And like you said, he's been having internet issues and been lagging out the first lap, and uh, we try to give him a shot, and usually most of the time he just says keep on going. So we'll see how he fares tonight. Hopefully he can get some track time tonight. Ian's gonna be one to watch. It's just an interesting back half, honestly. Ian, one to watch, see what he can get done. Like I said, hasn't raced in a very long time. Keegan Huey, he's a newer driver to the league after completing the Project 27 Cup ride. So he's kind of just meandering the field, seeing how he fits into the group. And Drake, solid driver in Xfinity Series, has been very solid throughout the entire season. Looking to make ground here tonight at a plate track. So a lot of great names in the back, a lot of potential in the back that we could see up in the front of the field by tonight. Luke, who is your underdog pick if you had to choose one tonight?
Yeah, well, Alex, that's a good question because I was going to mention in the truck race, all of those drivers you just mentioned at the back of the pack were up front. Ian led laps at Michigan in the trucks. So too did Drake. Our Denny led some laps. Your driver Jaden, he was up there leading laps. Flash obviously won the race. There's so many underdogs. Diamante Hamilton, he led laps, finished really well. I think There's a lot of good underdogs in the field, like you said. And I don't know if it's weird to call the pole sitter an underdog, but I do like Michael Shackelford's chances tonight.
Yeah, no, I actually agree fully. Sorry, guys, trying to get the camera focused. For some reason, it does not want to focus. Uh, no, I like Garage God. Shackelford, he is actually a solid pick as well. I guess the camera's not want to be nice to me tonight. Give me a second, guys. Where's my wig? I just probably reset. There we go. It's maybe a little better. But yeah, Shackelford, decent pick tonight. I like him a lot. He's actually been very good. There we go. Awesome. Yeah, Shackelford, a solid pick. Not just because he's on my team, but he tends to qualify very well, but then fall out towards the middle of the race. But he's been talking to me all this week in the team chat that he's got the speed. He wants to showcase what he's got. He's always had the speed here at Michigan. He's felt great. The cars felt great all weekend long, and he can't wait to get behind the wheel tonight and show him what it's done. He had speed last night, and it fell off for him. He said before the race today, he's told me, I've got the car. I want to go out there and win. I want to show what I've got. So we'll see what that 10 car does from the pole position. But to me, I think if I had to go with an underdog, it is the number 90 car, Brendan Edgington, our rookie of the year right now. He's been showing a lot of speed recently in the RCR camp, and I think he's got something to prove, and he's not done proving his grounds just yet. So I think from the 11th position, watch for him to make moves early on and be up there before the end of the race tonight.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So tonight, obviously, if you saw in the starting lineup there on the grid, it is a 62-lap race. We talked about that earlier, 124 miles around the two-mile track. And looking ahead to the next few weeks here, pulled up, we have Bristol next week. Oh, I forgot to mention this. Tonight is not just any other race either. It is a double points on the line. I completely almost forgot about that. Double points on the line this week for the Xfinity Series. It was also a double points for the Truck Series. But this is their double points race. We had the Cup Series race at Pocono a few weeks back. This is their time. And it's very unique the way we do our double points because it's not just taking their overall points and you double them. No. If you win the race, you get 80 points. If you win a stage, it's 20 points. If you win, and it's not just the driver points that goes towards it. It's also your stage points, your playoff points. If you win a stage, it's 2 playoff points instead of 1. If you win the race, it's 10 playoff points, Luke. How much of an advantage could this be that it's later on in the 3/4 of the way through the regular season?
It's going to be a big advantage. If you look at the point standings, Alex, I don't know if you have the ability to pull it up on the stream.
Not the stream.
All right, but if you look at the point standings, that current point leader, Jack Farnhart, he's not full-time, so he's not going for that regular season championship. Brandon Edgington and Nick Jensen are only separated by about 33 points, and that could all be made up tonight.
Yeah, and we've seen Nick Jensen be solid when it comes to the plate-style tracks. So I'm actually interested to see, like I said, I've got my underdog as Brendan Edgington, but Jensen looking very strong here this evening, and I think he's got something to shine for. With no pressure out behind him in the points with Helton not racing tonight, he has kind of a gap there between him and LaForge down in 5th place in the points. So Jensen, not really under any pressure, is just trying to look forward and stay focused and get to the front of this field to gap Edgington in the points.
Oh, yeah. And it's going to be fun, too, because, like you said, Edgington not really great at this style of racing. No offense, doesn't have many teammates. I don't know if he has, anybody that wants to work with him, but Jensen does, and he talks to people outside the track, and these are tracks where you have to work with people to stay at the front and maintain your spot. Otherwise, it's just going to be hectic up front, and people are going to be trying to pass left and right. So I think Jensen has the upper hand right now, but it could all go awry in the race.
Yeah, easily. I think Jensen has the pace, like you said. He's definitely got the pace. He's shown it, and we'll see what he can do. Moving to next week, we head to Bristol Motor Speedway, where we go low draft racing and ×3 for Xfinity Series on Thursday nights. The next 2 weeks are actually going to be very interesting because, Luke, 2 weeks from now, it's Dover on low draft ×3. A bigger oval, but not quite the typical mile and a half that we're used to, but a mile around Dover. That's going to be a very tricky track for it being low draft and a times 3 wear.
Yeah, we have a, like you said, a kind of a gauntlet of short tracks. I guess you could call Dover a short track coming up. Low draft and 3 times wear, so it's going to be hella strategic race. Um, Bristol is Bristol. That's going to probably be a lot of controversy coming out of there. But going into Dover, it's not really draft related. You just got to be very consistent on running the bottom lane and not hitting the apron, but also keeping it out of the wall. But the 3 times wear is going to make everybody so loose that it's going to force them to run different lines, which is why I think we're going to see a lot of passing.
Yeah, and that's the plan, is to interrogate, or not interrogate, but introduce the passing opportunities, because that track is not known for passing. So if we introduce that times 3 wear, we think it can actually put that factor of passing into the game and into the race before it's all said and done. And then, like I say, a string of short tracks. We go to New Hampshire. Again, not your typical short track, but it's that mile or under track. So it is definitely one of the bigger short tracks, and it's flat as all get out, as we all know. So very interesting track there. Then we head off into the road course of Mid-Ohio, and then we head to Homestead on the oval, and then wrapping up the regular season at Daytona on the high draft times 2. So a lot of great races left to be played here. But, Luke, they're running out of time on how much more points and playoff points can they wrap up before we go into playoff mode.
Yeah, it's going to start to get really aggressive at this point of the end of the regular season, Alex. We all know it. People are pushing not just to get the points, but to make the playoffs, period. And you got to be consistent. You got to get those playoff points. They're so important when you head into the playoffs, because you don't want to start behind the 8 ball. It's going to work out good. Hopefully that the top drivers are thinking, they're going to get that regular season championship, and so on down to 10th. They're going to get more playoff points and hopefully keep their gap above the line. It's more about those mid-pack guys. You want to see those mid-pack guys kind of step on it, pick up the pace, get aggressive, go for those points, because they really need to separate themselves from the cutoff line.
Yeah, and like we were talking about, seeing those guys at the cutoff line when it comes to the standings there. Let's go back to them. Point. Yeah, so like people like Denny, he's definitely looking to improve himself. He's been kind of that middle of the class field driver, and so if he's wanting to step up and get into the playoffs, he's got to start looking for a playoff point somewhere, and that's going to be a very strong challenge for him. But one guy that's kind of setting good right now is Willingham. Yes, he's tied for the cut line as of right now, but he's in a good position to maybe rack up a playoff point or 2 before the season ends up, because he's looking very strong right now. Another guy that I think could maybe play a factor is Jaden Dubois. He's still down there, but he's definitely found a little niche here after being on this game for this entire season. He's finally found that little niche. I think he's got something to possibly move up through the ranks, and if you finish in the top 10, you get those extra bonus points at the end of the regular season, which is going to play a huge role to seeing who goes into the playoffs and who does not get to advance into the playoffs this year. And Luke, last but not least, it's the field than we've ever done in the Xfinity Series. 12 drivers. I mean, a lot more doors for opportunities.
Yeah, Alex, I do want to give a shout out because we did mention parity. Currently, right now, in the top 6 for the Xfinity Series points, there are 4 rookies.
God, you are right.
Yeah, and all of them driving for similar teams, JD Motorsports, RCR, and I got Ducky. I mean, it says he's a rookie. He's not really a rookie. He just had to go through the process again. But RCR showing out, JD showing out.
Yeah, I mean, Jack Farnhart has led a very good team over at JD, and he just hasn't really gone through many driver changes. They've been loyal to him all season long, so definitely shine through the ranks. But Luke, we're getting ready to go green here, so we're going to kick it trackside for tonight's command as we get ready to fire engines here from Michigan International Speedway.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The race
Alrighty, great command here tonight for the heartland of the Windy City of Michigan. It's my honor to be here tonight as we get ready to see drivers on track here from Michigan. High speed, high entertainment, and I think we're in for one hell of a show. After if y'all saw Tuesday night and Wednesday night, we're in for a treat here tonight. We're going to get lined up on this first lap loop, but kind of looking through the field, any kind of steam pop, kind of looking through here. SP is Nick Jensen with a very unique scheme. I like that one.
Yeah, I do like Nick Jensen's scheme. Somebody sent a scheme earlier in the chat. I think it was Jacob Willingham, and it looked really nice. I think it's a Greg Biffle throwback.
Yeah, John Dean actually sporting a similar look to Nick Jensen. It's gonna bug me all night to try to do this challenge because that gamer tag right there in the corner.
Yeah, and Jack Farnhart, by the way, asked the admin team if he could forgo his third place starting spot. He wants to start in the rear, so chasing that record, he'll have to come from the back, Alex.
That's an interesting move. I wonder if that is something that was kind of a planned idea or what his case is on that one. But yeah, he's going to be dropping to the rear right there with John Dean, which moves Clater up to the outside row.
And Alex, some nice things about tonight. Everybody's pretty much in their normal car, so it won't be hard to, well, too hard to call them.
Exactly. Thank God. Might have been completely screwed if that had been an issue. Luke, I'll kind of let you call it here to the green flag here.
Here we go. They're going to drive through the restart zone for the first initial restart. Every other one will be in the box, but they're going to come now across the start-finish line, and the final race in the triple header at Michigan is underway. Good jump by Garage God, Alex.
Yeah, Garage God with a very solid jump at Waltman to the bottom of the track. There's going to be one car. Clater trying to look on the outside of Waltman as he's going to probably clear him off the exit of the corner. Jensen already on the move early underneath Clater on the backstretch here.
Yeah, Shackelford, good jump from pole. He did this in the Truck Series last night. Waltman back behind him had pace as well. Not last night, 2 nights ago, but they were running really good all night long. Zach Clater holding third. Jensen, like you mentioned, Alex, on the bottom. As we come to the line to complete lap 1, the pole sitter, Garage God's going to lead it.
Yeah, looking back here at Schaefer, he's making the bottom. Oh! Big one.
Big wreck.
And it's the Greg Biffle
JDF
throwback.
is in it. Yeah, JDF is in it. Willingham, they're going to throw a caution here because we don't. Oh, they're wrecking again on the back straightaway, Alex.
Oh, God. Edgington's around. God, what a mess. The calamity on lap number 2 here. What initiated that second wreck?
Zach Clater was getting bounced around in the middle. I was on board with him. He just got ping-ponged around, but the caution's going to come out for Shackelford, who leads from pole.
And Jensen already up third, and Ryan Waltman already up to P number 2. Kind of shocking to see him up here early. He started from the 4th position, but able to hold steady right now.
And Alex, I do want to mention we have a new rule going into place. There's actually a couple of new rules which all these drivers know about. There's no more MGR. It was replaced by that rule that you and Crimson and everybody decided on when I was on vacation, that 5-lap rule for the cautions to get rid of the single file for like the entire race. So that's nice. No more MGR. So if they wreck at any point, a caution will come out. I guess that's pretty good too. It'll give everyone a fair chance. And the end of line rule, which is completely different than anything we've ever done, involves just sending in a bunch of clips from a specific incident if people want to report it. And you could get sent to the rear of the field post-race and receive last place points if you're found to be in violation of that.
Yeah, like you said, that's something that we've never considered anything like it before. We've had our variations of a similar rule, but an EOL, something we kind of heard of, and it's interesting that it comes from an outside source at this point, but Something that involves dirt racing. It's something that has been seen across some dirt leagues. Who would have thought we'd been taking it to asphalt? Here we are in this league, and we're going to see how it works out. But this is the first week of it being introduced, and we've already had one driver almost get stuck with it. But they're on pit road right here. What's the call
It
right
could
now?
have been used last night. I think they only ran really one green flag lap. 2 tires is probably the call here. It looks like somebody's doing it. Is that JDF?
I believe
No, it's not.
No. That is Dylan Blevins in one car.
He's the only one that did it. He's going to gain a ton of track position. On my screen, looks like he has a little front end damage.
Yeah, it looks like he might have cosmetic, probably from that. He was towards the back of the field, so I'm willing to bet maybe the first wreck. But honestly, that kind of damage, it looks so minimal that it probably won't be affecting the car too much.
Yeah, Alex, and speaking of Dylan Blevins, in the truck series on Tuesday night, he got his first UTLR league win in 3 years, 4 seasons.
God, what an accomplishment by the driver. I mean, he kind of goes unnoticed on most cases. It's upsetting because he actually has a lot more talent than what he even lets on. So to see Blevins back in victory lane once again, he takes him where he can find him and get him, because it doesn't come very often for him, and he knows it. He accepts that he's not the top tier driver here, but when he races with respect, he usually gets it, and he can find himself in victory lane sometimes.
Yeah, and Blevins, he never has anything bad to say. I mean, he'll have something to say every now and then, but he'll never badmouth somebody. If, gets into somebody, he'll say sorry. So you always like to see somebody like that doing well and winning. He's in the number 1 car, so maybe that's a good omen for him tonight.
Just maybe as we get ready for the shoe cone.
They're doing a single file restart. Not sure why they did that. That's not how the rule works.
Very confused on a call, but we are back racing nonetheless.
Yeah, I don't know why they would do that. That's not how the rule works.
We're back underway here. We see a little bit of, I guess it looks like there was a little bit of confusion from that restart. You can kind of tell not everybody was on board with what was going on.
Yeah, we see the 10 car of Shackelford, the pole sitter, go to the inside of Blevins. He takes the lead.
Yeah,
Waltman
Huey up on
behind
the
him.
outside wall. Back to the lead here is Shackelford to the lead to the point. Blevins out behind him looking for the outside lane. Again, you can use the inside, use the outside, you can use the middle. It's all workable on this racetrack. You see Waltman on the inside lane trying to make it work, gets back in line.
Yeah, he does. Waltman having a really nice race so far. He's up there in second behind Shackelford. And LaForge is going under Blevins right now. Speaking of LaForge, he, in my opinion, had the fastest truck on Tuesday night. Got into an accident late, couldn't make up the time. Blevins cuts down in front of the 15 of Schaefer. And, yeah, they all get single file amongst the top 6.
Yeah, Schaefer looking solid right now. Notice a little bit, maybe a tiny bit of lag from him starting from the race, but looking good right now nonetheless. LaForge, oh, there's a lag spike there.
And it wrecked a couple of cars.
Yep.
Oh my gosh!
That's going to be a caution.
Yeah, it will be. And I'm going to see if I can reach out to Jensen and ask him why they did a single file restart there, Alex.
Yeah, let's
because
find that one out. Come back to caution
that certainly is not how that was supposed to go. Oh my gosh, the lag at the back of the pack is bad.
Yeah, it's caution out.
But
for the second
yeah,
time
Alex,
tonight, lag induced, so we'll see from the race control tower what the reason behind the first caution of the restart was. Nonetheless, we're going to go under this caution break. We're going to go side by side, and y'all won't miss a beat as we see pit stops taking place this time by.
Drake, I hear you like I'm young.
Okay. Red Bull, Ferrari, Mercedes, Aston, now McLaren, all have a speed on the straights. Our shot is battling in the turns. We need to build our car for combat.
How am I supposed to make that safe?
Who said anything about safe?
All right, we're back here live from Michigan. Still kind of getting just clarification on that rule. We believe it's part of a new rule that may have some miscommunication about the reason for it, but this next restart will be single file nonetheless because of the new rule. I think there's just some misspoken clarification on the first time by. But y'all saw pit stops taking place, and Shackelford, Waltman, and Blevins stay out along with LaForge. Pretty much the first half of the field loop. The second half is all fresh tires.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting, Alex. There's not real. I mean, they only did again another single one lap on tires, so there's not really a big discrepancy. Worst tires right now is Blevins.
Ready for the restart here. Back in the restart zone they go. It is Shackelford with a great launch. Back controlled.
Good jump. Great jump for Shackelford.
Yeah, he fans out. I like the move to the outside because he knows he can get the run. Even if he gets to the inside there, he cuts him off mid-corner, but he's going to get the better run off the exit of 2 there with Waltman out behind him. Looking very strong right now.
Yeah, I'm watching Brandon Edgington in the back of the pack to see how he can get through. He's the first on 4 tires. You see Blevins is struggling a little bit. LaForge goes under him. Waltman trying to push Shackelford into a mistake. LaForge pushes Blevins up the track. Nobody close enough to make a move on that. Now they're 3 wide back there for 5th, Alex.
Yeah, and Hamilton out back behind these guys in the 18 car looking for a passing opportunity. You see Willingham bounce off of Blevins, and now Willingham to the outside, maybe touch the wall, and there goes Edgerton out back behind Hamilton.
Yeah, JDF got in the back of LaForge. That opened the door for Zach Clater, and now they're bouncing off each other again down the backstretch. Somehow they keep it straight, and Blevins gets into, I think, Hamilton, who made a great save there on the outside, and now they're 5 wide going into turn 3. That is not what you want to do. This all caused by Blevins on those old tires, unfortunately. He's in not a good spot right now. JDF looking to make a move to the top 5. INF to the front 2.
Yeah, I think Hamilton's having a little bit of lag as well, not helping the pace at all. But yeah, that was produced by Blevins and JDF still trying to learn the control of the car. And so he's not used to being up in the front, and now you just see the 15 car of Schaefer lagging, and it's right in front of Jensen.
And how about this, Alex? 2 underdogs in the front, Shackelford and Waltman running 1-2, and they're pulling away. Yeah, again, parity. We mentioned it.
Yeah, they're looking very solid right now. I'm very impressed, especially Waltman. He's been showing, he's been trying to learn better driving skills, better driving techniques. We have a few in the grass mid-pack.
Yeah, we do, and there's some serious lag. I assume the admins, Clater, SP, they'll come in, tell the laggy car to get out of the way because it's definitely probably being reported. That 3rd place car of Clater, he's coming up to the front too. He's broken away from the back half the pack, and he's putting himself in the battle for the lead.
Yeah, still some lag going on mid-pack. You can tell we're seeing it on our end. I mean, I don't, and the crazy part is I don't think it's the same drivers that we're used to seeing. It's different drivers, so don't know if it's a server issue or what. But caution is out though.
Again, why there was a caution. I mean, they ran 5 laps under green, so whatever it is, it'll be a double file restart. Oh, that's the end of stage 1.
Oh, good God. All right, end of stage number 1 here. You know, you get lost in time. And
yeah, you do, because there was so much happening.
A lot going on. So, and what's crazy is Waltman beats Shackelford to the line for the stage.
Yeah, he does, and you know Waltman's going to be boastful about that. He likes to post his achievements all over the place, so I wouldn't be shocked to see that in the chat soon.
Can't blame the kid. He's definitely learned a lot. He's definitely come from being, you know, mid-pack and towards the back, and now he's finally found a little niche to be up front, so guess I don't blame him. Start stage number 2
yeah. We are getting ready to start stage number 2. Jack Farnhart from the back of the field up to 4th, but it is Waltman, Shackelford, and Clater. Front 3 as we go back green at Michigan. Blevins got a top 5 in that stage. Good for him after the not so great strategy. We'll see what happens if they head off into 1 and 2. Where does the advantage come from? Looks like Clader and Blevins are going to push Waltman on the bottom, clear to the lead by a long shot. He's going to move up and give the draft to Shackelford and Farnhart.
Wow, what a move. And JDF being put in the middle, and Jensen avoids JDF. You see now John Dean coming on the outside. We say he's going to be a factor at the end of stage 1. He's back inside top 10. Now Edgerton up the middle, 3 wide. And JDF goes up to block the middle lane. And now Jensen, Edgerton, and Dean on the inside and outside and middle.
Oh, and Zach Clader got into JDF right there. JDF needs to control that car right there. He does, but he's in the wall hard.
Hard in the inside wall. Unfortunately, it's going to be 1 car. They're going to keep it green. Shackelford looking back behind, trying to get the run initiated from Clader, and they're going to have the run going down the back straightaway. And Shackelford backs off and does not take the move right now.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what Zach Clader was trying to do there. Jay was coming with a run. I guess he was trying to block him, got into him, sent him down into the grass. But look at Jensen coming up to the front. He's being aggressive. He was in that last caution. He's now in the top 5. He gets by Farnhart.
Hey, I'm looking at Dean, who just cleared both those guys from the outside lane in the middle of the corner, and he's now at P4. Looking strong behind now Clader, seeing what kind of run they get. Shackelford all over the back bumper, and it's going to allow the door of opportunity for Clader to take the bottom of the track, heading into the corner, and now Dean to the outside.
Yeah, and you see that interesting dynamic right there, Alex. Dean and Clader, teammates in the Cup Series, not working together here because they're not teammates. That's just how teammate works. You see they're going both to the inside of Shackelford.
Yeah, you see this weird guy, Jensen and Dean running identical schemes this evening.
Oh, yeah. We come onto the back straightaway. You see Waltman up front. Still up front, a little contact with Shackelford and Dean. And Dean, by the way, started P19. He's gunning for the lead.
Yeah, he's definitely trying to get there. See 1 car back into the outside wall and off of turn 4 coming down the track. They're going to sort it out off the exit corner, but Waltman's still out front. And Dean to the outside, looking for the advantage and the push from Shackelford. He's going to get to the outside. Can Dean take over the lead off the exit 2? That middle lane is where you want to be at, Luke.
Waltman has a ton of pace, Alex. He's just kind of struggling to hold the line on the straightaway where he needs to push. And that hurt Zach Clader and opened the door for John Dean on the outside. Shackelford trying to go with Waltman, but he just needs to figure out where he can push him.
Yeah, like you said, I saw Shackelford get to the back bumper of that 51 machine and wanted to push him, but couldn't. He couldn't hold the straight line as well as Shackelford could, so he couldn't give him the help that he needed.
Yeah, what does Waltman do now? Does he move up in front of the top lane, which is starting to train up a little bit? You got the 3, I would say, maybe best Xfinity Series drivers of all time up there, Jensen, Dean, and Farnhart.
Yeah, no, that's a solid group out there and trying to make headway. Now you see Dean to the inside of Waltman. Waltman to the outside now. He swapped sides. Now Dean with the advantage to the bottom of the racetrack.
Look at all these Chevrolets up here. As Dean clears to the lead, it's all Chevy.
What a race we're having. I mean, we're already halfway through stage number 2 here. Coming to lap number 7 of 12 here in stage number 2. And now new leader is Dean out in front in 68, but it is not over. The train is coming to town, boys. It is on the outside with solid drivers. Waltman trying to make it work. He's going to move up the racetrack.
Yeah, Waltman ran a little too high of a line there to run the top side. It killed all the momentum. Zach Clader making a mistake, a little contact between Sammy Schaefer and Nick Jensen. But Zach Clader falling out of line. Is it a fuel saving opportunity maybe? Maybe that's why he's falling back?
You know, I don't think so. Maybe, but I don't think so. If it was times 3 where, yes, I'd probably say so. But times 2, I don't think it's going to be. See Schaefer now inside the top 5 underneath Barnhart there. And Waltman has not given up. He's still on the back bumper of Shackelford with help from Jensen.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, Alex. Oh, Jensen did not know they were 3 wide, and now they're 3 wide between Schaefer and Farnhart and Jensen for 4th.
What a race. And here comes Blevins back into the picture. He's going to go underneath Schaefer and make it 3 wide. Still 3 wide right there in the mid packs.
Waltman blocking Nick aggressively. You saw, I think, the 10 car making a mistake there. I don't know if it was induced by John Dean, but here comes Jensen to the outside.
Yeah, Jensen likes the outside here. He likes the momentum, and if nobody else is going to go, he's like, give it to me, I will go, follow me, trust. And,
yeah,
you know, 50% of the time, it doesn't happen.
Yeah, well, John Dean moved up there to block Jensen and get the run, and that opens the door for Shackelford on the bottom, and he's going to make a dive in there. Almost, he does make contact with Dean. Here comes Dylan Blevins on the bottom.
And falling behind him is the rookie of the year right now, Edgington, out behind Blevins to push, and here comes Clater and Farhan on that bottom.
Yeah, they're racing 3x3 right now, and I can only sense the big one coming. Blevins moves up to block, back down, leaves the door open, gets hit by Edgington, and they all go up the track again, 4 wide for third, and here comes Zach Clater.
2.5 laps to go to the end of stage 2, and it's a madhouse up front.
Very much a madhouse. Edge was very aggressive there, and some people probably don't appreciate it, but like we said, Alex, it's time to go for the playoffs.
Yeah, playoff points is where you find them. Friends, what's that? Even though stage 2, they don't care. And there they go.
There. Yep,
and there's the big one.
Everybody at the back half of the pack involved. They're going to throw a caution. They're racing back this time for the stage win, Alex.
Oh, and I'm watching Jensen on his POV, and he was upside down, end over end.
Here comes Zach Clater to the inside. Brandon Edgington, this is for the stage win. Two by two between the top 4 coming into turn 4. Is it going to be Edgington or Zach Clater getting the stage win here in stage 2? The help is on the bottom. But there's a run on top. They're going to be side by side coming to the line. Brandon Edgington's going to hold them off.
What a move, and Edgington is going to get the stage win. We are under caution, though. It's coming to the stage right here. They're going to just kind of pace at a high speed just to get back to the stage flag.
Yeah,
but what a massive wreck that was. We sensed it coming, Luke. We didn't know when, but it was coming.
We did. Oh, it came for sure. SP, like you said, or Nick Jensen was flipping multiple times. Somehow on his screen it says he has no damage, but I saw he was upside down.
That's cap. I can see the damage on his POV.
They're going to race it back.
Yeah, what a strong run, though. I figured they might hold it. I mean, it was 3 to 4 wide for about 2 laps there, and I thought they just might hold it, but push come to shove, and I don't even know who got who loose. It was just chaos. I saw a little bump, tapping going on around Jensen, and it sent Jensen into the outside wall flipping.
Yeah, and Alex, we talked about how we thought Jensen could have the upper hand coming in here. Well, guess what? With 2 to go in the stage, he goes flipping, and his championship rival Edgington ends up winning the stage. So, yeah.
And there's 2 playoff points right there, and 20 stage points compared to SP's or Jensen's none. And so there's points right there. You said about a 30-point gap roughly. Well, there's he's down by about roughly 10 points.
Well, Alex, this race is going really fast. We're going to have about 31 laps to go. What are you expecting?
Well, expecting the same thing we just saw. I think a lot more 3 to 4 wide racing, a lot more give and less take. I think some are going to probably relax and chill out for a few minutes. One driver to notice inside the top 10 because of the wrecking was Arn Denning. Richard Denning there getting in the 7th position to get ready to go back racing here from Michigan.
Yeah, Richard Denny, by the way, in the Truck Series last night, or 2 days ago in the first stage, finished 5th.
I think that guy's got a little something that he could show for.
Yeah, he does. These drafting type tracks are really his bread and butter. He's won in different leagues on this style of track. Not in UTLR, though, still winless.
Yeah, you see also another guy who's on the move is Willingham. Trying to get some points and make his moves, make his shine after deciding to stay with RCR. He's inside the top 10.
That was not good right there for the RCR guys. Edge moved down to block Shackelford, and that got them all checked up right there. Now Edge is going to be on the top, and Shackelford's coming with a run on the bottom with a lot of help. Look at that line, Alex.
Yeah, that's a huge line right there. And they better get ready. Here comes Shackelford on the bottom, Dean on the outside with help from Clater. Barnhart on the bottom looking for the advantage, and Edge is probably going to have the advantage on the outside, and he does.
He does, because now the help on the straightaway, like I mentioned, pre-race, Alex moves to the top. But here comes John Dean. He's going to go to the bottom. He's going to go by Brandon Edgington, and he's likely going to take the lead as the preferred lane switches to the bottom side.
I don't know, you have the help out from behind, but it's going to be close. He's not going to lead this lap. I think John Dean got it at the line.
By inches. Oh, Shackelford hit the apron. He races up into Edge. That opens the door for Mason LaForge. And Blevins is making his presence known again, too.
Yeah, Blevins struggling, but finding his niche, finding his groove, trying to get back into the game, and LaForge definitely trying to get back into the game. He was in it early and kind of sunk back into the mid-pack.
Yeah, John Dean, by the way, only has 2 wins in the Xfinity Series, but he's been close to.
Let's count how many times he should have won, and how many times has he lost it on the last lap, and even last corner. Like, you can't.
Due to fuel every single time.
We don't have enough fingers to count those times. About 27.
Yeah, he only has 2 wins.
Yeah, and should have been more, way more. I believe there's about 27 laps to go here. JDF looking to try to make moves here. He's towards the back half of the field, back there with Jensen. So I think he's going to probably follow in behind him and try to move his way back to the front of the field, just following through with Jensen.
Yeah, Edgington looking for his 4th ever win. Dusty, looking for his 5th ever win. He has 4 wins.
Okay. And one guy that's to watch for is right behind Blevins, and that's Waltman. He's looking to try to get his name back up in the little hat.
Oh, wrecking down the back straightaway, Alex. Hamilton and Ian around. That's going to be a caution.
Yeah, tough break for Ian. He was looking just right outside the top kid on that last restart.
Racing back to the caution flag, and it looks like John Dean is going to be the leader.
Good racing so far. I'm liking what I'm seeing. It's keeping us entertained. It's keeping us on the edge of our seats. We don't know who's going to be going for what. Every position is trying to get a new position and a closer one to the front of the field. And one guy that I also want to note right now, he is in that 5th position. We have not talked about him all night long. That is Stephen Wade Davis in 5th place right now.
Yeah, Davis. I don't know if he wants to be called Davis II, David Jr., or Davis Jr., but he is really sneaky at these kinds of tracks. I think it was last season he won at Texas or Iowa or something.
Oh, Texas and Iowa.
Yeah, just very sneaky. You'll never think of, I'm going to call him Load Broke, the Viking. You're never going to think of him as somebody who could sneak one out like that, but he has done it before. He's done it multiple times. I don't know how close we're on fuel. By the way, Nick Jensen restarted this restart in 19th. He's up to the top 10, so I think he has some nice pace.
And Luke, I like the fact that he's back up to the top 10. That's going to show later on how much of a threat can he be. I think he's going to be one to watch. He has not clicked into the lead just yet, but he's been very sneaky to be outside racing for the lead. Expect Nick Jensen to be back up toward the front here after this pit stop.
And I like talking about parity in UTLR, Alex. In the Truck Series, there's a 3-way tie for the all-time wins lead. In the Xfinity Series, there is, if SP or Zach Clater wins tonight, going to be a 4-way tie for the all-time wins list. The Cup Series is not really that close. Mole had about, 53 wins?
That was not
but,
near close.
But the lower series are really close.
Well, it's because we didn't have a Mole around. For all the ones that watching that knows about mowing knows about this league. There was no competition. There was, but at the end of the race, there just ended up being a lot more wins on his favored side and a lot more parity in the lower series. Always has been. And we're trying to get the parity back into this Cup Series. I think we're slowly getting there, finding the correct drivers, finding the right driver, and finding the different parity of tracks. And I think with the new game coming out in the fall, I think it's going to open the door for a lot of parity because a lot of drivers are not going to be used to the physics that game is going to bring.
Oh yeah. Be a lot of parity. I do think that the current Cup Series does have a lot of parity. I have 3 wins this season. Dusty has 4, and then there's like a couple of drivers with 3. SP's part-time driver. He has a couple of wins. Crimson has a win. INF has wins. Hammer has wins. So if you just look down the grid, Dude Chef has wins. There is some parity.
Yeah, definitely, and I think it's just going to get better from here. Get ready for Choose this time. You see Barnhart dipping back down on the pit road. A little bit of fuel strategy now, Luke.
Oh yeah, which means they must be close.
It's gotta be. I haven't seen what you might use it like, but going to come back racing with 22 laps to go.
John Dean took the top, by the way. He gave Michael Shackelford the bottom, and Mason LaForge the bottom too. So maybe he trusts that outside run.
And Luke, I just found out Toby Welsh just put into the HR live chat room that he said good luck to everybody out there. This is way earlier, I'm just now seeing it, but tonight he did not lag out per se. He actually didn't get a lap in because he had to go AFK just before the start.
Damn.
So
that sucks.
The one time he doesn't have a lag issue, he was fine and went AFK and race already started. So
yeah, that sucks for him.
With only 22 laps to go, Luke, what do we expect with now maybe a fuel save race? Or are we going to see full-on out racing like we have been?
I think they're going to push here. They all fully expect a caution. I expect a caution too.
On board with Clater here for this restart. See what he does up through the years. Back racing. And a huge jump. Shackelford did not go at all. And now Davis is up to second.
Good push by Davis into the back of Dean.
Now he's not there right. Probably going to be Davis there. He gets the outside wall. And
there goes Barnhart. Almost into the inside wall. We got one car spinning. It looks like only a one-car incident. I think that was JDF that went around. Maybe Blevins. It was Blevins. No.
Oh, man. Blevins, the luck is typical for him. I hate to say typical, but that's been a typical season for him. He gets up inside the top 5, looks strong, wins one series, and then comes off and has that.
They're getting really aggressive too back there, Alex. They're really blocking Mason LaForge through a nasty block on the front stretch. Zach Clater missed the corner. That opens the door for Shackelford to make a run. John Dean is up out of there. He's gone.
Yeah, he does not want to have any kind of issues, no part of this. He wants to set sail. We haven't seen any driver actually have, I think, this big of a lead yet.
It won't last.
He can only hope and hold on to a lot of hope. You see LaForge still putting big blocks.
Yeah, he needs to be careful. He'll get sent into the corner like me last night.
See, there's that run I was talking about, or that lane that me and Luke were talking about before the start of the race for Davis there. He took the inside lane and was on the apron, below the yellow line. 1 and 2 doesn't work out. 3 and 4, if you can hook it just right, you can get below and onto the apron and make it work and make a pass. People don't like it, Luke, but if you can make the pass down there, it is illegal. But some don't like it, but I think it's because either A, you get sent up the track, or B, they're just jealous that they can't do it.
Yeah, and You know, it's not really defendable, but you also have to trust the driver when they make that move down into the corner. If they're going to do it into the corner, they have to be able to hold their line down there. You don't want to get used up. So I think that that move is obviously acceptable when you're riding in the corner like Dean does right there, dip some tires down there. It's just very hard to judge an entry to the corner there when you're going to have drivers taking the regular line.
Yeah, because some will take two once we see the last couple of laps here, and even on the last lap, you're going to see people. Dean's taking 2 tires below the white line, but we're going to see drivers take all 4 and almost to the grass, probably on the last lap. Because, again, it's legal. It is in real life, too. But is it doable? It all comes down to driver talent at that point, and they are all shoveled up at the front right now.
Yeah, look at Jensen. Look at Jensen. They're leaving Dean in the dust. Jensen's up behind Shackelford, even second.
I like Shackelford right now. He's looking strong, and again, he told me, he said this car is fast. He wants to win. And right now, looking very strong. He's been up front and in the lead a lot, and he's also been up front in the top 5 all night long.
Yeah, bad lag right there out of John Dean. Oh, and JDF on the apron spins out into Sammy Schaefer. Looks like Schaefer kept it straight. They're probably not going to throw a caution.
And JDF getting some bad luck again to him. We talked that he might have a decent car to get inside the top 10, but luck is not on his side tonight.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuel strategy is. Jensen hasn't pulled it up yet. Maybe they're not too worried about it.
You know, if Jensen ain't worried about it right now, I don't think that we're going to see any issues.
Jensen to the outside of Shackelford in turn 1, going to try and cross it over to get the better corner. Look at that move he does.
Wow.
To the inside. Great
What
move.
a move.
And look at that. His Cup teammate John Dean right behind him.
And then Mason LaForge back inside this mix. He's in P4 looking for P3.
And Jensen is one of those drivers looking to equal that record, Alex.
Yes, indeed. Can tonight be the night? We just talked about how he is determined to get back up in front of the field, and he has now made his mark, made his move.
And he is a full-time driver in the Xfinity Series, so he will be pushing for those points. John Dean lagging a little bit, got into Jensen, sent him up the track. Dean under Jensen. Wow.
Man, what a pass. Luke, we're coming up to 14 laps to go already.
Yeah, they're going to start getting aggressive. I personally think they have enough fuel. 22 laps is when they pitted. That's how many we went green with. 22 in the Cup Series on 2 times where we could hold 22.
Yeah, they should be fine from here. Oh, one in the outside wall. Kept it green, kept it off
Davis.
Jensen, here comes Shackelford. Shackelford gets into LaForge.
Oh, and they're all going to slide up. That's going to allow, big lag.
Oh,
and there goes
LaForge.
That's going to be a caution. That was caused by a lag spike from somebody.
I think that was off of, I feel
oh
bad
my
for,
God. Huge wreck, Alex. The entire field is,
good God.
the entire field. They're racing back to the caution. Now they can make it on fuel, so we'll have no questions.
I'm trying to see who that lag may have been. Oh, I think I know who it's from. Looks like it was the 15 of Schaefer. I saw a black hood, but I could not tell who. Schaefer got in the back of Shackelford and LaForge and caused that one. That's why LaForge is letting Shackelford back in position.
Yeah, LaForge, there was a lag spike like you mentioned, Alex. The car fell behind Mason, and then Mason got punted when the car was coming back forward and got spun into Zach Clater, and it blocked the track, and everybody behind piled in.
Yeah, lag killing the game for a few of these drivers, and you know, Luke, some drivers may not be happy with some that have lag when it comes down to the end of this race if it costs them some spots.
Yeah, well, whoever caused that lag spike, you said you think it's Schaefer. Because it caused the caution, he'll be asked to go to the rear.
Yeah, we'll see what exactly happens. I personally think it was, because Shackelford was in front of Schaefer before that happened, and so was LaForge. And LaForge not getting a spot back, but LaForge, I think, back in front of Schaefer because he led him. So we'll see what happens. But we're going to take a quick second, get ready for pit stops here. We'll be right back for the rest of this race.
Say Drake, I hear you like I'm young. You better not ever go to cell block one.
Go green with like 10 to go. SC needs to tell Dusty
just make
that
sure
he's
you
flagging
hide your
straight
little
back,
sister
'cause I'm
from
seeing
him.
that too.
It's a cultural divide. I'ma get it on the flow.
You really about to do it?
40 acres in the mule. This is bigger than the music.
You really about to do it?
Yeah, they tried to rig the game, but you can't fake influence.
They get on it like that.
Hey, I'm tripping, I'm sliding, I'm riding through the back like fuck. Mustard on a beat, bro, deep bro, any rap, he a freak though, man down, call like Amber Lambs, tell him breathe, let them boys to the cross, they walk around like G's, what's up with these Japonio, trying to see Compton, in the street can hate me, bump them all in they mama, how many options you really got, I mean it's too many options, finna crash on his body, I'm John Stockton, what? Beat your and hide the Bible if God watching. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show. Certified boogeyman, I'm the one that up the skull. Walking down the whole time, I know he got some hoe. Pull, and start bully the fro.
Alright, back here live from Michigan. You know, look, they're just, none of these drivers are not like us, man. As Lamar would say, SP in second place. He ain't like the rest either.
Yeah. Well, Alex, let's let the viewers know. Me and Alex are going to do these final 10 laps for you guys, kind of in a radio style. Alex is going to be getting from the finish line all the way, the start-finish line, all the way to the middle of the backstretch, and that's where I'll take over to get all the way through 3 and 4 to the finish of the race. We're going to try and do it. We tried it with Flash at Sonoma.
Brother, we tried that to start the race and see how we ended up.
Here comes Tuesday.
We're going to try it, but we tried to start the race and it did not end well.
Dean and Jensen go to the top. Davis Jr. goes to the bottom with Sammy Schaefer and Michael Shackelford.
Do you want the outside or do you want the inside? Because exit turn 2 might have the advantage on the outside, but the stay drag race on the backstretch, then you're going to have the advantage going into turn 3. If you're on the bottom.
Yeah, I'm unsure. Did Davis take 2 or did he take 4? Because I don't think he was there initially.
No, he wasn't inside the top 5 whenever we got to the caution. So I think a 2-tire stop by him is the call that he made.
Yeah, so I would like to be on the top. John Dean knows how to lead the top lane really well, and he has Jensen, who's been really fast, obviously, all night, back in front throughout the whole field with him, and they have the preferred groove.
Yeah, and 2 drivers that I'm actually watching right now is that 51 and the 10 of Waltman and Shackelford. 2 guys that have been up in the front, and they're right behind a couple of solid drivers, but Shackelford behind somebody who's been lagging, so we'll see how he plays coming to the restart zone here.
Oh yeah, Alex, and this is going to be fun. This might not be the last restart. We're going green with 10 to go as we come to the restart zone, and here we go. Good jump on the bottom by Steven Davis, but a better jump and more organization on the top by Dean and Jensen and Waltman.
Yeah, Dean looking really solid on the outside lane. He gets the jump, and cars wrecking out back behind. Looks like it's going to be 2. The caution will be out this time by. As they race it back. Jensen on the back bumper. Here it comes. Who's that? That's Schaefer out back behind Jensen there, and they're going to kind of just keep a single file here. Davis to the outside there for a second.
Important to note, Alex. Yeah, this is going to be the caution here is going to cause us to go single file.
Yep, single file this time for this restart. See, I was trying, but it just got away from me. I really. The action has been heated here tonight. It's been awesome, and it's just like hard to distinct a certain region. There's so much action everywhere.
Oh yeah.
So 9 to go
Barnhart's
this time.
make that charge.
There's Barnhart. Where's he at?
Restarted in 15th. He's in like 8th.
Yeah, they're right behind Waltman. Actually, that'd be 6, I think. Yeah, up to 6th place. I don't know. I think
he restarted 15th.
I think Waltman's got something to show for it.
Yeah, they're obviously not going to pit here, right, Alex? I don't know. I don't think they would throw their track position away for 1 lap fresher tires.
No, unless you're expecting a nerd caution, and they're okay.
Fake it.
No, yeah. I was gonna say, dear God, please no. Ain't no way.
I mean, it would have been interesting. They would have been trying to race from the back, but yeah, this is going to be a single file restart if they're going to follow that rule properly. So it's going to be interesting because you got Cup teammates working together 1-2, and then you have Sammy. Is that Sammy Schaefer in 3rd?
Who's also been lagging.
Yep, and then Steven Davis 4th, Waltman 5th, and Farnhart 6th. Zach Clater's also one of those drivers going for the record, but he was involved in the accident, so he is again in the back of the pack.
And he's back there with Blevins on pit road, getting the damage repaired. LaForge also in the back. He's been making the ground, but he's now stuck behind everybody else after making solid ground late in the running. A lot of lag from a lot of drivers tonight, and it's been affecting the outcome of some of these drivers.
Yeah, you're right, Alex, and I can't help but think it's because SP won in the 42 car last night.
Well, I don't know about that one. Just maybe, but we'll see. Maybe it's the SP wave ton of servers are going down here soon.
That's how it always works. Whenever he wins, or maybe whenever that 42 car wins, the servers magically stop working.
Right. Alright. Look, I'll let you call this first lap. To get ready to go back green here.
Okay. I assume they're going to go green.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does look like they're going to go green as we come to the restart zone. 8 laps to go from Michigan. Good jump by Dean. Jensen caught off guard. Schaefer, not a good jump. See what happens as they all head off into turn 1, but Dean got the power down and he's putting a gap on them. And if we get another restart, by the way, it is going to be single file, Alex, because the cautions turn off in 3 laps and they have to run at least 5 to go back double.
Yeah, easily. Is the aggression done, though?
No. Not at all. Here we come. 7. I think we're coming to 7 laps to go. And it's Dean over Jensen over Schaefer.
Waltman to the 5th place now, trying to work with Davis. Try to get up to the front of the field, and here comes Schaefer on the bottom.
Yeah, John Dean last night had probably the fastest car in the Cup Series race. I went under him in turn 2, and he finished 12th on the last lap, so he probably looking for some redemption here. Jensen held off really well from Schaefer back behind him, and they're all starting to queue up, Alex. The rest of the field is coming up to the front.
Yeah, they're single file. They got enough time. 5 to go this time. No more cautions. And they're jumbled up in the back, too.
They really are. Here comes Barnhart into 4th, looking for the all-time record.
Yeah, they're full sending in the pack. I can see it. There's probably going to be a wreck before we even get back to the finish line here.
Yeah, that was 5 to go, so there are no more cautions. So it's going to be, dare I say, balls to the wall.
Yeah. Like I said,
Jensen's not going to... Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, Jensen's not going to make a move on Dean until it matters. So it won't be too late. But you see the JD cars on the top. That's Schaefer and Farnhart working together. Dean lagged and bumped into Jensen.
It's going to help John Dean out.
to help clear the outside if he wants to move up, but the run's coming too much.
And Alex, remember, Dean and Schaefer had contact in the truck. I think it was the Truck Series. Maybe it was in the Xfinity Series, and they weren't too happy with each other, both in the booth. I don't know if you remember that a couple of weeks ago.
Yes, they were both not happy at all with each other. They didn't like the way they got driven by each other. Here comes Jensen back where they help from Shackelford and Waltman.
Oh. Waltman into Shackelford. Farnhart losing time. So is Schaefer.
It's going to be 2 to go this time by.
It will be 2 to go. And where does the move come from?
Shackelford moves up to the outside behind. Oh, never mind. Dips back down, leaving Schaefer out in the dry bones. But Schaefer goes back down to block. It's now 2 laps to go for Dean.
Yeah, and, you know, Jensen's going to stick behind him, which is not going to appease a lot of the other drivers. That's just the teamwork they do. So we'll see how. Oh, and you see Shackelford get into the back of Jensen. That might help Schaefer on the top side clear.
Yeah, Shackelford lost a lot of the ground, killing his chances of this race win. The race ain't done yet.
Jensen needs to come to his senses. He needs to get the run here. He's going to have the push, and he's going to have the run, Alex. Jensen is going for that record. He's going to try and tie it as he comes to the white flag.
With help from Waltman, where does they go? White flag by the esports racing community. Waltman to the bottom of the racetrack.
Waltman into the back of Dean, forces him up the track. That's going to open the door for Jensen on the top. Here comes Farnhart looking for the record as well. Dean running the top, trying to give the run to Jensen. Jensen's getting a run. Jensen goes down to the inside. Dean blocks it, and Jensen doesn't get the run. He goes up the track. Farnhart gets into the back of him, and here we come off of turn 4. No contest for John Dean. He's going to get redemption at Michigan with his 5th career win.
What a race, though. They had a chance. They had an opportunity going into turn 3. It did not work out for them as they hoped, and I don't think as they planned. And John Dean is probably a sigh of relief because he knew it was coming, and he cleared him off turn 4.
Guess what? Nick Jensen's 2nd.
And Farnhart clears for 3rd, and all hail to Waltman. I mean, solid day by him. He finishes off 4th after leading the first half of this race.
And good finish by Hamilton, by the way. P6, we didn't really talk about him all night.
No, he's kind of a lone wolf in the mix. Flash back there, he ends up in P16. Well, look, a solid racing night, a quick one by that. I mean, this race went on for a while, and very quickly.
Yeah, and there was some pretty bad, you know, crashes, incidents. There was some lag, some unusual lag, but the win for John Dean puts him at 5, and now he's chasing that record. Alex, he's now only 2 behind tying it.
Wow, it's going to be very interesting. I can't wait to hear from these top 3 drivers as we'll be right back. We're going to go grab them and give them to the booth, and we'll be right back for post-racing reviews. right, guys, we are back here at post race interviews here on the start and finish line with the winner, Mr. John Dean himself. John, you were looking very amazing all race long. You kind of came up from the back of the field, and we said you're going to be at the front by the end of stage one. You're within the top five. So not quite the front, but you're definitely up there. And then stage two, you just kind of started to take the reins and take control of this race. A lot of battling back and forth. And you cleared the airways, cleared the path under the cautions, and made your way to the front and held on. I know the last few laps was very concerning because I know you probably expected the worst, and breath of relief, you can come off here the winner tonight.
Oh yeah, glad I was able to hold him off that last lap. Last lap is always I'd rather be in second than first on the last lap, to be honest. But yeah, I was glad I was able to come out with that.
Yeah, and so that puts you at win number 5. You're only 2 wins behind tying for the most wins in Xfinity Series history. You've only been with the league for about 2 seasons now. So how does it feel being up the upper tier ranks now?
It feels really good that I get to put my name with a bunch of other really fast guys that I've got to race. And oh yeah, shout out! I'm glad I got the win in the Badger Seal car tonight. Me and SP ran it, but glad we got to show it out and get the win in it.
I knew something had been up. Like me and Luke didn't really know exactly for sure, but that's awesome.
But yeah, shout out to SP too. He helped me a lot in the race. Kept him in my draft lane so he could get the runs off me. And yeah, shout out to everybody else too. That's a pretty fun race. I know maybe not other people will agree with that, but my race was pretty fun.
So what do you think was the most challenging thing? Because like we said, you came from the back. So what do you think was the most challenging part of having to come from the back to the front?
I'd say just knowing when to take a run and when to not take it. You know, you can gain a lot of spots on the top lane when the bottom lane stacks up real bad. And yeah, if you just stick with it and you got a couple good guys behind you, you know, you can make shit happen.
You're right about that. I've heard it once. I've heard it a million times. You find your best friends where you find them on track. So solid efforts tonight on the win, and can't wait to see what you do next week at Bristol.
Yep, appreciate y'all streaming.
Yes, sir, indeed. And want to hand it off to down a pit road, where Luke Smith is our second place.
Yeah, I'm down here with second place finisher Nick Jensen, SP. You were up and down the field all night. I mean, Jesus. I mean, I don't even know what to say. You were back to front, middle of the pack, making nice passes. Obviously, you had the pace, finished second. Not good stage points, but you were also chasing the record. You were trying to tie it, and I know that was on your mind. So, anything else you wanted to do, or was you're just trying to stay with Dusty?
No, I mean, the record is a record, and it'll be broken eventually. Records are meant to be broken. Obviously, it didn't happen tonight, but no, my main goal right there was just to kind of hang out and do whatever I needed to do to secure a good finish tonight, because I know Edge has a lot of points on me right now, so I just wanted to see what I could do, and we ran a pretty good race, like you said. We went to the back, to the front, to the back, to the front, more times than I can count. And we just kind of worked with Dusty all night there, and we really wanted to see if one of us could get in victory lane in the Vagisil car, and we got one too, which was not expecting. But that was the goal, so you know what? We'll take it. We'll take it.
Yeah, and SP, as we move forward, we kind of have a short track gauntlet coming up, like 3 or 4 in a row. What are you expecting out of that? Because I know you don't really explain yourself as a short track racer.
Yeah, and like you said, I'm not really a short track racer. I do not look forward to these. They're kind of my kryptonite. I kind of struggle. It's one of my weak points in this league. The only way I think I can get a win, maybe Dover, maybe New Hampshire. I'm half decent at both of those, but there's a lot of better guys than me at a lot of these tracks, so it'll be a big challenge, that's for sure.
But like I said, I mean, it's no big deal. We're on a roll right now with all the series. I mean, our average finishing cup's 1.33 the last few weeks. Xfinity, we've been knocking on the door of another win. We got a truck win a couple weeks ago too. So yeah, not a couple weeks ago. I'm drunk. I don't know, but we're really finding our groove now, and now it's just trying to be consistent at that and being in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, well, congratulations on your second place finish. I think me and Alex are looking forward to you chasing that record.
Thank you, appreciate it. Good job, guys.
All right, Alex, do you want to get third or should I get third?
I'll take third.
Right.
Down here on pit row with Mr. Jack Barnhart, my man. Looking strong all race long. You opted to start in the rear of the field back there with John Dean, and you had to work your way back to the field as well. Yours was a different challenge. You were kind of back and forth throughout the night. You would find yourself inside the top 10, and then in the top 5, and then back inside, right outside top 10, and back and forth all night long. And so it was a different struggle, but you found the time and the space to make the runs when needed. How was your race overall?
I think my race was. Wait. All right. Just make sure that I didn't have the option to include my audio or not. I was like, oh, I don't need to. But I felt my race was pretty fine. I got involved in a couple incidents, kind of towards the early and middle stages that were kind of just out of my control. But I think this has kind of been the telltale with Michigan this week. It's a very fast track, and with kind of I don't want to say the idea, or I don't want to say package, but kind of like what we were aiming for. I'm imagining for racing with the draft, and kind of with Tire, where I kind of promoted a lot of very close quarters action racing at very high speeds, which is very scary, especially at a track like Michigan. It's always going to be kind of chaotic, but fortunately, I was able to keep my nose clean for the majority of the night and end up with a respectable finish for myself. I'm pretty happy with it. After trucks was kind of a nothing burger of a race for myself, and then Cup, I got wrecked on the last lap, which so I guess this is pretty good. And yeah.
Well, and so heading in next week, Bristol, we expect to see you on the track. So I think Bristol tends to fare you very well. You actually didn't have a lot of pace there.
Actually, I mean, maybe in that one in a race outside of the Utler banner, but no, Bristol is not a favorite of mine. I actually really don't like Bristol. Maybe the results don't reflect that, but that's kind of just a different standard I kind of set for myself. I don't really like Bristol. I don't really like passing there. I don't really like having to run the bottom or the top there. It's just one of the tracks I don't feel comfortable with whenever I step onto it. I will be there for the truck. No, sorry, for the Cup and the Xfinity race. I think Xfinity.
Yes.
To say that I'm looking forward to this race would definitely be a overstatement. Usually you hear understatement. No, it's an overstatement. I honestly cannot wait to get done with Bristol week. But yeah, I also want to give a shout out Dusty, who ran 2 phenomenal races. Actually, 3 phenomenal races all week. He swept both the stages in the truck and the Cup race, and then finally managed to get the win tonight. So that was pretty dope. Obviously, he's got this track mastered. Shout out to SP, who's also had a phenomenal week showing out. It's cool to see, and for him overall just running the show not primarily, but like in the truck and Xfinity especially, really being able to keep things orderly. I want to give a shout out to my team, Meso and HD and Duchef. Obviously, well, Meso and Duchef were on track tonight, but they unfortunately ran into some incidents of their own. Sammy got a good result, and Meso not so much, but Also want to give a shout out to the GOAT Tip Duncan and everyone else in the messenger chat. And yeah, that's all I got.
Awesome, man. Well, great interview tonight. Thank you so much for taking the time to do it. Congrats on a third place finish this week, and we can't wait to see what you do next week at Bristol at one of your not so great tracks.
Likewise, thank you for the coverage. Thank you for the interview, and yeah, thank you guys.
Yes, sir. And just going to pretty much wrap it up for us here this evening. Luke, any final thoughts? This has been an incredible race, and capping it off here, I'm actually glad that I was able to be back in the booth tonight after taking a couple weeks off, and to come back to a race like Michigan with so much energy back behind has been just none but short of amazing. I was so glad to be back on the track in some way, and it was truly an honor to have you back up here as always.
It was fun, obviously, with you trying the new stuff, calling people by their real name. That was fun. But I think going forward, we're going to have a lot of fun doing that. We're going to try and adapt that, I think, if you want to. I think it's going to be fun, especially at short tracks next week at Bristol, when it's going to be very chaotic and fun. But overall, good week this week from the league at Michigan. And yeah, really good winners in all three series. And I think that it was a good week for everybody. We grew as a league, and I'm excited to see what we do at Bristol.
Yes, sir. Well, guys, it's been my honor. It's been our pleasure hosting the UTR Xfinity Series here this evening from Michigan. Your winner tonight, John Dean, in the number 68 car, gets back to victory lane for the 5th time in his career. We'll be back live with y'all from Bristol Motor Speedway next Thursday night at 9 o'clock Eastern. We'll see y'all then.